Hello and marhaba, I'm Hania and welcome to another video. Mortadella style lunch meat is very popular in various parts of the world, including here in Algeria where I live. It's become so much a part of our lives and our daily routine that some can't even imagine breakfast or lunch without it. Today we're going to be preparing a healthier, more delicious quality version that takes about 8 minutes to prep that your whole family can enjoy. No more of that factory garbage that's loaded with artificial flavors, enhancers, colorants, and preservatives. This recipe is all natural, colorant, and chemical free and made with real meat. This recipe is gluten free and very versatile. You can use any meat you like and add the seasonings of your choice. You can easily make this low carb, paleo, and keto friendly as well. All the ingredients are listed up on the screen as well as in the description box below. Bismillah, let's go over all the ingredients that we're going to need to make our Cachir dar, our homemade mortadelle. So of course we have 500 grams of chicken. I have dark meat as well as corn flour. If you're living here in Algeria and you're curious to know where you can buy this for corn flour, I have the package right here so you can see what it looks like. As you can see here, I'm not affiliated with this brand, but I'm just showing you so that you can find it easily in the markets. As you can see, it is gluten free, as you can see right here, gluten free. So if you're on a gluten free diet, then this is definitely a recipe that you can try out. You can optionally leave this completely out and make this keto and low carb paleo friendly as well. Some recipes call for semolina, but I found if you use semolina, the Kashir, the mortadelle, does become really hard and really tough, and I don't prefer that. I like a really soft kind of mortadelle. So the next ingredient that we're going to need are some olives. I have green pitted olives here. This is optional. You can also use pistachios as well. I have 4 eggs as well as 4 portions of lavash kiri type cream cheese wedges. You can substitute with heavy double cream if you like as well. So the spices that we're going to need for our homemade kashir are salt, cayenne pepper or harissa, onion powder, garlic powder, black pepper, paprika, and ground bay leaf. The paprika will also serve as a nice colorant for our kashir, so it has a really nice color. The store-bought factory produced kashirs, they do have an artificial colorant, which is not only not healthy for you, but it is the color, to me it's really not appealing at all. So the paprika will give it a nice tint. It won't be too over the top color, but it will give it a nice tint, inshallah. We're going to begin by cracking our 4 eggs right into a bowl here, making sure that we don't have any of the shells in there. And then we're going to use a blender. You can also use any type of kitchen machine, such as a food processor, if you like. I'm just going to drop the eggs right into my blender along with the meat, as you can see that I'm doing here. Again, I'm using chicken. You can use any type of meat that you like. I added in the salt as well as all the seasonings and the 4 portions of lavash kiri type cheese. I'm just going to put the lid on and mix everything together so it's nicely ground. We really do want the mixture to be finely pureed. So once your meat is really finely minced in your machine, you can add in your corn flour. As I mentioned before, you can omit this step if you are on a ketogenic or low carb type diet. The reason we add the corn flour in is to give it a little bit of strength so that it's a little bit stable. If you didn't add it, it will be a little bit softer. But again, as I mentioned, it's really up to you. Once we have our meat mixture nicely combined, we're going to move on to the next step, which is going to be forming the rolls. So I have a really tall cup here, which I've put a Ziploc bag into, and I'm going to spread all the meat mixture right into the Ziploc bag and use it as my makeshift piping bag. So you can optionally just do this free form, but I found that it's much easier and actually much cleaner to do it this way with the Ziploc bag. Once you have the Ziploc bag filled, you can just pipe it onto 3 layers of plastic wrap that as you can see that I've done here, and then roll the log into a nice little roll. You do want to make sure that you get out all the air bubbles, and then just twist the ends, as you can see that I'm doing here, and tie them so that there is no extra air pockets forming in your mortadelle or your kashir. You can hit the roll against your work surface a few times as I've done here to also remove some of the air bubbles. So you can see that our recipe has made 2 rolls, as you can see here, which is more than enough to serve a family. Next, I'm going to roll the rolls with some aluminum foil. This is also to help keep the shape so that it's a nice shape, as well as make sure that none of the meat mixture comes out during the cooking process. So you want to take a little bit extra care when rolling the rolls in the aluminum foil so that you do have a really nice shape, inshallah. And of course, twist the ends as you did with the plastic wrap. As you can see here, our 2 rolls are ready for us to cook. Now all I'm going to do is take a large stock pot and fill it with water, add 2 bay leaves, some salt, and a few peppercorns. I'm going to lay in the mortadella packages, the rolls, as you can see here, cover it and allow it to simmer on a low heat for about 1 hour. You can optionally do the same process in a bain-marie in the oven. You can check on your rolls time to time to make sure that it's not sticking to the pan or the filling has come out, but inshallah it should be fine. After the 1 hour cooking time, just gently remove your rolls using some tongs, of course, being very careful not to burn yourself. Allow your kashir to cool slightly enough where it's cool enough to touch. I like to cool my kashir, my mortadelle, on a cooking rack, as you can see here, and then also snip off the ends with some scissors as it's easier to unroll everything, inshallah. Our kashir is here on my cutting board. It's still hot, but it's just enough cooled enough that I can cut into it. You can see our sliced fresh kashir, as you can see here. It's gonna give it a nice taste. Really nice. Our all-natural homemade mortadelle, or kashir as it's called here in Algeria. Colorant, chemical, and preservative-free, made with real meat. Sliced thick or thin, this mortadelle is meaty and full of deep flavors. Enjoy it with a smear of mustard or mayonnaise, even a slab of little cheese on some homemade bread. Refrigerate up for 5 days, or it can store longer if stored in the freezer. Inshallah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I do hope you tried out this recipe. And until next time, peace be upon you, and see you in the next video.